Hello everybody, I'm LEGO Separator and welcome back to another LEGO video. Now, I have a question. Do you remember this game? The game I'm talking about is this one. Set number 3858 from LEGO Heroica, which was the sub-theme of LEGO games, and was released in 2011. This is a game for heroes and adventurers, so if you are a hero and an adventurer, don't click off this video. Let's just get started. So as I said before, this is an adventure game with little hero microfigures to move around the board and to get to the end, or the aim of the game. Now to do that, you need to roll a very special decorated dice with special printed tiles attached to it. And there are a few monsters in the way, but there's also some gold, some potions, some magic scattered about there as well. So first of all, let's have a look at the three main characters in this set. So the first one is this barbarian over here, a yellow microfigure with some brown sort of barbarian styled clothing on his front over there, and a very rough beard, tooth missing, and some very furious eyebrows, and just yellow all the way around. Okay, our second one is the ranger, done in blue with a sort of brown coat on his front over here, a little sachet on his belt, and one eye covered over with his long wavy hair. And he's done in a base color of blue. And finally we have the druid, him done in a tan color, sort of like a magician style, ancient tribal magician with this necklace of teeth around his neck over here, and a fur coat, and his beard hidden underneath a tan hood, and him being the rest color of tan. Okay, so now there are a few monsters in this board game. First things first being these spiders over here, which are just regular LEGO spiders, but compared to the size of a microfigure, they are quite large. There's also three of these werewolf micro figures as well. They're base color brown with some rather muscular werewolf design, with little claws down at the bottom of the feet, a little tunic there, a chain around their necks, and some teeth and yellow eyes. And finally, the big boss being the dark druid himself, with a little translucent piece underneath there to make him flying about. He's done in a base color of light tan, and he's got a dark blue or sand blue patchy coat over here with a silver medallion and red eyes underneath a hooded face. So let's go through start to finish over here. So first of all, the characters start off on this brown patch over here, which is used to connect with other worlds. Now the main function about this map over here is that it has interchangeable bits. So you have these large square pieces, those are like rooms, tiles, or something like that, and you have these little interconnecting bits over here. So we can take one off over here. So here's a little interconnecting bit and a room, and we can, for instance, stick it over to here, and this can interchange this about and create different sort of missions. I obviously have to break the rules by putting it in the wrong place, but don't worry, it works on a contrast of dark tile and green tile over here. So dotted around over here, we have some nice tree decoration, as this is a forest, Waldurk forest, as it's called by the name. And we have little golden bits placed randomly around the board for you to collect. There are a few monsters dotted around here to battle with later on. We'll get to the rules in just a moment, but speaking of the design over here, we've got plenty of green tiles with large trees up onto the sides over here. We've got some chests, always good to have on an adventure, some treasure chests. And we have this fancy temple at the back over here, which I really enjoy, with these light blue sort of tubular elements going in through them to make it look spooky, but also kind of beautiful at the same time. Some beautiful ruins. If we move this dark druid out the way, we have a little waterfall with a little golden bit over there. This tile over here, this jumper plate, also being a space to stand on. And what's more is that we have these special magical axe doors to be placed around the board using these translucent axe pieces attached here, which can be placed just like this. And yeah, So now let's discuss a little bit about the core gameplay into all of this. I won't describe everything, but I did make a mistake last time when I did a Lego game video. I think it was the Minotaurs one, and I didn't have the instruction booklet anymore on how to play the game. I was just trying to get it out from memory. What I didn't notice is that I can go out onto the internet and find some. So I'd like to give a thumbs up to lego.brickinstructions.com for storing all of the instructions for absolutely every single game set out there, so I don't have to worry about it. So anyway, on to gameplay. So we have the Heroica dice over here, and we'll just quickly go over what sides it has. It's a dual functioning dice, so that it has numbers on one segment of the tile and a symbol on the other one. So for instance, like here we've got a sword, here we've got a skeleton head, skull, sorry, and here we have both of them, and we have a special tile here as well, with runic markings on it and a little red eye there as well. That, I believe, is called the Heroica shield. And before we get on to the actual playing, there's a lot to learn about this. There are some hero packs. Yes, these are called hero packs, and these are color-coded for each of the characters we get in this game. So one yellow for the barbarian, one blue for the ranger, and one tan-colored for the druid. And these are used to collect items around the board, potions and stuff, defeated enemies, and also to count the health bars as well. It's a little bit like a computer game. Placed in real life. So the dice is normally used to move a certain amount of steps. So for instance, if I were to roll a 2, I would move one of my characters, let's say the druid, 1, 2, just like so. The dice is also functional when placed in front of a monster. If you land in front of a monster, use the dice to decide what fate you have as well. For instance, like a sword will mean that you defeat the monster. A skull will mean that you take health off with the amount of strength that each monster has. For instance, like spiders have a strength of 1, werewolves have a strength of 2, and the druid over here, being the big boss, has a strength of 3. There's also a little side build as well, being the store over here, which has, wait, let me just move this out the way, which has some rubbery molded weapons stuck onto the rack over here. So we have a bow and arrow, a staff, a wand, a battle axe, a sword, and 2 little daggers over here, as well as 7 little mounds of gold over here as well, to be taken away from if you need extra gold, or to be given to, because you can buy these little weapons as well, which each have their own little abilities. And speaking of abilities, each one of these characters also have their own unique ability, sort of similar to the weapons here on the rack. So the ranger stands for the bow and arrow, and his ability when rolling with the Heroica shield is a ranged ability, which means, yeah, I'm probably complicating things over here, but that means if he's standing around somewhere, I don't know, like over here, if you roll the Heroica shield, he will be able to defeat a monster in a straight line from around 4 spaces away, just like a bow and arrow. The druid also has a ranged ability, however, his is more of the staff, so he can heal himself to full health when he rolls Heroica shield. However, there are those characters that use melee skills, for instance, like the barbarian over here. If the barbarian were to be standing over here with 2 enemies side by side to him, if he rolls the Heroica shield, he can defeat both of them and move 1 space. That is just how good he is, because his symbol is the battle axe, and battle axes are battle axes. So as you saw there, I removed a little bit of gold because some of them were standing in the way, and those just go on to the hero pack as well. Also, if 3 gold is collected on the hero pack, you can, for instance, like buy a new ability with one of these from the store. Now, as we're focusing on a few items over here as well, we might as well go over some of them now. So first of all, we have this potion over here placed into one of these spots. This is a strength potion. It has its value. I'll leave you to look it up in the instruction booklets yourself. There's also another potion which can be placed about somewhere called a health potion, done in red. Looks kind of magical, I must say. And there's also another item that is not yet placed on the board, which can be done in another mission. This is the Chalice of Life, which is apparently a relic. It's kind of like a golden goblet, just, you know, large for microfigure size, and that comes in another mission. Also, with the treasure chests, they are also decided with the dice as well, whether you get gold or traps from inside them. So, yeah, a lot of possibilities. And don't get me started on these little special doors over here. If a microfigure were to step on one of these blue switches over here, they can move one of these magical doors over to another dark grey space, kind of like a blockable ability to help shake things up a little bit. And also there is a little red crowbar here as well, just in case you need to, you know, remove these little blue bits. That can be done with the little Lego Separator style hinge bit at the end. And as shown before, these little bits are interchangeable. We have little short bits, we have long bits, and we have these large tiles as well, so they can be interchanged, made into different formations, made into a different adventure. Speaking of missions, this is only the first that is shown in the instruction. And here is the second mission, which is sort of like rearrange the board a little bit, mix and match the items around as well. Over here, we see what's going on over here. We've got sort of like little entranceway now over here with these little castle fortifications. We've got a little forest meander around over here. We're making use of the health potion over here. We've got the dark druid lurking about, and finally at the end, in this little fortification over here, we have the chalice of life sitting over here. And now I need so what I wanted to say was that I better switch this camera off because it's got a low battery. But the battery got there first. But anyway, here's the game. Again, it can be put into many different positions, which I absolutely love. And, yeah, nobody probably has heard of it. But anyway, that's the end of my video, so I hope to show more in the future. I hope this inspired you, and until next time, happy adventuring!